what you need to say. Say what you need to say. It's better to say too much than never to say what you need to say, yeah.
What is up, everybody? Another Wednesday, another walk and talk. I'm glad you could join me today. And I'm really excited because I actually got the first video response question for these walk and talks, and I'll get to that in a second. But first, I wanted to start off by talking about something that I saw on the news last night. Steven Slater, the JetBlue flight attendant out of New York, made a harrowing escape from his job and the plane and all of its rowdy passengers by pulling on the emergency door, and with a handful of beers proceeded to jump out onto the inflatable raft thing that comes out and go home after a rowdy passenger decided not to listen to him, and while trying to pull their bags out of the overhead compartment, knocked Steven in the head. After this, an argument ensued, and after this rowdy passenger called Steven a mofo, Steven decided to get on the PA system and tell this person F you, and then took his dramatic exit off of the plane in his own way. Steven, welcome to Fight Club. I'm just kidding. I give the man kudos. I say let him go. We've all had our bad days. The guy spent 28 years dealing with probably the same kind of stuff every day, and I've only worked at AT&T customer service for 2 years, and I've just wanted to, just leave that place on more than a couple dozen occasions because of certain customers. This is what I'm talking about when it comes to common courtesy to your fellow man, respect and things like that. Even though this guy threw away a career basically by taking a stand against it. Yes, he probably could have done it in another way, maybe a more professional way that he could keep his job or something. The bottom line to me though is that all of this whole situation could have been avoided had this one passenger just sat down and shut up. Seriously. All he was doing was he was just trying to get up before they were told to do so and get his bag out of the overhead. They were just telling him, hey, sit down, it's not time to get up yet, and he decided to be rude. It's not gonna help you get off the plane any quicker, dude. Seriously, just calm down. But no, because you wanted to be rude, you had to cause a whole scene on the plane. Good job. But anyways, I'm done with my little rant about that. Steven Slater, I hope things go well with you. I really hope they just let you go. And with that, let's go to the questions. Alright guys, so I just wanted to say the first video response that I got was from Drenched07. Thank you, Michelle. I haven't heard from her in a long time, so I was kind of surprised to see her comment and actually make a video response. Anyways, she asked,
what is something that you've done in the past that is completely spontaneous? Like, it doesn't have to be like illegal or anything like that, or I don't know. It could be like anything, actually.
So something in my past that I've done spontaneously, could be anything. Honestly, it goes back to those paranormal photos that I was talking about in the last walk and talk. The reason that was so spontaneous was that was at least a couple years ago. Okay, it was Halloween night. Me and my friend Justin were taking, my little brother and his little brother and cousins trick-or-treating. After we had taken them back to the house and everything was, said and done, and it was 2 a.m. in the morning, and we're like, hey, I heard about this place called Coon Hill Cemetary, and I heard it's supposed to be haunted. You wanna go check it out? So at 2 in the morning, we decided to drive out to the middle of nowhere where this cemetery was located. But from what the GPS was telling me, we were like 100 yards, maybe more, away from the place, and Justin was driving, and he started getting a really bad feeling in his gut, like he wanted to turn around, and I'm like, dude, we've come this far, we can't, stop now. And he's like, no, I got a bad feeling, I really gotta turn around, man, I can't go any farther. So I'm like, okay, fine, I trust you. And he's the driver, so. We then decided to turn around, and I'm like, I'm not going without any pictures, so I rolled down the window, stuck the camera outside the window, and took pictures of the road ahead of us right when we were about to U-turn. I took a picture of the area that we were making a U-turn in, and as we were driving away, I took another picture of the road behind us, and this is what I saw. And then, I know you're probably thinking, oh, there's probably something in the air, but this is the last picture I took facing behind us when we started to drive away, and then not 2 seconds later, I'm serious, not even 2 seconds later, I pushed the shutter again off towards the side of the road, and this is what happened. Not a single thing And I didn't see these until later on. Like, yeah, I was just taking pictures and stuff when this was happening, but it wasn't until we got back on the main road and stopped at a gas station. I looked through these pictures and I was like, whoa, yeah, dude, I don't blame you for freaking out back there. That's pretty creepy. Orbs everywhere. It was the freakiest thing, and I'm like, okay, yeah, you know what? We didn't go this time, but we will go there again with your little brother and stuff and your girlfriend. So we did, and I'm not gonna go through all those stories because that's pretty much the most exciting story out of the whole experience there. I'm gonna put all of the other pictures from the other times that we went to Coon Hill Cemetery in the Facebook page photos. I'm gonna put all of them there. I'll put a link in the description if you want to see those spooky ghost pictures from the cemetery. There's a lot of good ones of orbs. Check it out whenever you want to. Yeah, that's pretty much my spontaneous story. And the most exciting too, because I actually have proof. So Michelle, aka Drenched07, you being the very first video response, I thank you so much. You rock. And guys, if you don't know her, she is a vlogger as well, so you might want to go check her channel out. I'll put a link to that down in the description as well. So let's move on to the next question. Alright, next question comes from Jerg08, and he asked on YouTube, how do you deal with losing somebody? That's kind of vague, because I don't know if you mean losing somebody like through death or just losing someone in a relationship. So I'll just answer this generally. You know, it's hard. I mean, it's always hard when you're gonna lose somebody, especially someone that's close to you. Hi, Airplane. Like for me, letting go of Toby to some new owners, that to me was hard. I mean, that was like letting go of my own child. It took me a couple days to get over. I mean, taking my own time to get over the fact that, you know, Toby's not mine anymore. He's not my dog. He's somebody else's. You know, that's the hardest thing, because you know you're not going to see them again, so that's the hardest thing to get over. All you can do is just remember that you had some good times with this person and that the memories are what's important right now. And just muddle through it, take that step forward slowly but surely, and pretty soon you'll find yourself walking at your normal pace again. You know, it's not the end of the world, believe me. That's about as general as I can get. With regards to that topic. If you want me to answer something more specifically with regards to that same question, just let me know in the comments and I'll clarify all of it. But yeah, that's pretty much my answer for that one, so let's jump to the next question. Alright, next question comes from one of my good friends, Rosie, from the Steel Roses. She wanted to know what the treble clef on my wrist symbolizes. And if you guys don't know, that tattoo, my treble clef, that's what she's talking about. Now, obviously it's a treble clef, so first sign, music! Honestly, if you really want me to tell you the truth, and I'll go ahead and tell you the truth, a girl had suggested that I get it. Her name was Angela. We dated for a little bit in the past. At first, I was kind of reluctant because I was like, I don't think I'm ready for a tattoo. But ultimately, when I thought about it, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and get it. Not because of the fact that it's gonna symbolize this girl, but because it's gonna symbolize my love for music. Because at this time, I was starting to get into playing the guitar, and I needed something to, you know, remind me for what I was doing all this for. You know, why I was wanting to learn the guitar again, and it was for the love of music, because I love music. So I decided, of all places I could get it, should be on my wrist. The reason it's on this wrist is because when I'm holding the fretboard, the tattoo is staring me right in the face. So it's always a constant reminder, hey, music is important, and music has gotten me through a lot of stuff. Don't tell me you've never sat down after having a bad day and not turned on your favorite song or something to try and cheer you up. Because everybody's done that. If you haven't, you need to try it, because it really does wonders. Music is a powerful thing, especially when it's done right, especially when it's done to send a message, or when it tells a story, or when it encourages you or makes you feel better. When music's done right, it's an amazing thing. So bottom line, I got this tattoo because of my love of music and what it's done for me. So I hope you like that answer. Let's go ahead and jump to the next question, guys. Okay, next question comes from Howard. He asked this on the I Subscribed forums. He asked me, would I rather live in the Matrix or the real world? I wish I had some sunglasses so I could do a Neo thing there, but now obviously if I had to make this choice, I would already know that the Matrix is fake. It's just the world that was created to blind us from the truth, blah blah blah. If you haven't seen the first Matrix, shame on you! But I would say the real world, because I know, like that guy said in the first one, you know, ignorance is bliss. That might be true, but you know, if in the back of my mind I know this is fake, it's gonna kill me at the end of the day. So I'd much rather deal with the truth than have something, you know, put over me, because that's how I feel about life. I don't want to deal with the BS. And if the truth is that bad, like the real world really is that, I'll deal with it. As long as I know I'm free and I'm not plugged into some machine in the back of my head. And with that and the wind picking up, I'm gonna go to the next question and hopefully the wind dies down. Okay, the next question comes from D. Buzert. I hope I'm saying that right. If I'm not, please let me know. He asked me, would I rather choose an online job like YouTube or a real job where there is a boss that I have to deal with? Well, I love doing all of these videos here on YouTube. If I could get paid from it, that'd be cool, but I wouldn't want YouTube to be my primary income. Even though I'm pretty sure Shay Carl's doing great, I personally wouldn't want it to be my primary source of income because, hey, there's no benefits, no health insurance. I don't know, it's not as hands-on as I want to be. It's not as technical as I want to be. That's why, I'd love for my primary job to be, directing movies or anything in that sort of field, even if it's like directing music videos, which I hopefully will be doing pretty soon. It's also something that I love to do. I mean, the money's good, but to be paid to do something you love, that is just, I don't know what to say. Like, if I could get paid to do music videos or direct a movie, I'd be in heaven. Even though I know the deadlines and stuff like that are stressful and stuff, at the end of the day, I would love every second of it. So yeah, that's my answer. And I think we're gonna go ahead and jump to the final question. Alright guys, this next question comes from Mike, aka MZB1993. He asked this on the I Subscribe forums. He asked, who is my favorite YouTube comedian? And if my answer is not Wheezy Waiter, why not? Well, lo and behold, Mike, I actually, about a month and a half ago, subscribed to Wheezy Waiter through another of my favorite YouTubers, Mika Kitty. I gotta say, he's really funny. Like, it just took one of his videos to get me hooked. He's not like Shane Dawson that does all these skits and stuff, even though he does do an occasional skit every now and then or an occasional collab. But when it comes to just his normal videos, hilarious, genius stuff. So, and actually, Mike, I actually enjoy your videos as well. I think you're pretty hilarious yourself. Wheezy Waiter is actually one of my favorite YouTube comedians. So that would be my answer to that. And that actually leaves me with all of the questions for this week's Walk and Talk. I can't tell you what it really is. I can only tell you what it feels like. And right now there's a steel knife in my windpipe. No? Okay. You guys actually scared me because apparently when I ask you guys a question, you answer it, but you forget to ask me a question. So I was going through the YouTube comments and I'm like, I only have 3 questions. This is going to be a short Walk and Talk. But luckily there were other questions from people on the I Subscribe forums, so thank you to everyone that submitted a question. Huge thank you to Michelle, aka Drenched07, for making the first video response question for these Walk and Talks. And if you guys want to join in on that, just make your own video response question and make it a response to this video, and I'll put you in the next Walk and Talk. So get your cameras rolling and your questions going. This week's question will be, have you ever quit your job in a weird or funny way? And if not, if you were to quit your job, what would be the way you'd want to do it? Like your fantasy way to quit your job. Go ahead and leave your answers down in the comment section below or make a video response with your answer. Just please guys, don't forget about your questions for next week's Walk and Talk. And with that, you guys are the best subscribers in the entire world. And as always guys, keep on vlogging.